Good morning. Welcome to Mama Sue's Southern Kitchen. Happy New Year. Isn't it great to have a brand new beginning? You know, last year is gone. All we've got to do is to start brand new. We have a brand new slate to start over. And I'm going to go way back for a recipe that I'm going to do right now. Years ago, it was in the 70s for sure. I used to make this cake all the time. I started making it then. And then after I had my children, I continued to make it. And the other day, my daughter Amy said, "Mama, why don't you make that plum cake anymore? You used to make it and you would take it everywhere we went. If someone was sick, you'd make one and take it to them." And I said, I forgot all about it. So I'm going to show you how simple it is to make this cake, and I really think you're going to like it if you've never had it before. Now, the recipe says 2 cups of self-rising flour. All right, I'm going to put the 2 cups, but I'm going to put it in my sifter and sift it before I add anything else. Okay, there's 1 cup. Whoops. It's real dusty, isn't it? Okay. Now I'm going to add the other cup. You know, when I decided I was going to do this cake, I went to the store because it calls for plum baby food. Y'all, I went several places and I couldn't find it. So I came home and I Googled it. And do you know they don't make just jars of plum baby food? They have plums in those squeezy things that the babies can suck when they get old enough. But I thought, I bet there's something that's going to work just as good. So, I'll show you what I got in just a minute. This sifter is not as good as the old-timey ones, I'll tell you. Those old-timey ones, you couldn't beat, the ones that you would crank. But it's just about all sifted. So, get it over it's in the edges a little bit. Okay. Now, we're going to go to 2 cups of granulated sugar, and I'm gonna get it out with this one that I have because it's not quite a cup. Okay, there's 1. So we got 2 and 2 cups of sugar and 2 cups of self-rising flour. All right, now we're going to add our spices. And the only 2 spices that it calls for is a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, this is a ½ a teaspoon so I can get it down in there better, so I'll put 2 of these. Doing fractions. Okay, and it will be a teaspoon of ground cloves. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 halves of this, which makes 1. All right, let me mix that just together a little bit. I think you can see. I did buy me a new, it's a like a tripod, but it hooks to my cabinet, so it holds my phone, and I'm able to do a lot more. Let me get my vanilla. I forgot to get that out. Okay, so I've got all of this mixed pretty good. So to this, I'm going to add, it would have been 2 jars of PLUM baby food. That's what I used to do. But, like I said, you cannot find it. So I bought prune and apples mixed together. Now, some of you are going to think, prune? Oh my goodness. It's going to be fine. I'm telling you it is. So I'm going to put these in there. Amy's going to be surprised when she comes out here and I have this cake, because I think she and Sean are going to eat with us later today. I've got the collards cooked, and I did that sausage, black-eyed peas, and sausage and jalapenos, and I'm just going to make some rice and cornbread, and that's going to be our New Year's meal. Now, I've always had black-eyed peas and greens, sometimes cabbage, and sometimes it would be turnip greens or collards. It's supposed to bring you luck. Now, y'all, I don't believe in luck. I believe in blessings, but it's just a tradition. All right, I'm going to put a teaspoon of vanilla. So there's my teaspoon. Okay. It calls for 3 eggs. I have a bowl right here, so I'm just going to crack them in it to make sure they're okay. And that one is, so I'm going to dump it in there. It's warm up here today in Alabama. It's in the 70s. That one was good. Okay. They're all good. So I'm going to put those in there. And then the last thing that I'm going to put is 1 cup of vegetable oil. 1 cup. All right. We're going to mix it really good. I think I've told you this before. I do have a KitchenAid mixer. I don't think you can see it from here. And I keep it out because I do use it. But for just a simple cake and one that you don't have to beat for a long time, like pound cakes do need to be, in my opinion, beaten a long time. I just use this because it's easier for me to do it. I'll go over my recipe again to make sure I have everything. I don't use cloves a lot in recipes, but in this, when it's cooking, and you can smell the cinnamon and the cloves, oh my goodness, it smells so good. Okay. That there so it won't tip over. And just make sure it's all together. And it is. Now, I have already sprayed my bundt pan with Baker's Joy. If you don't have that, you can grease and flour it. But I'm going to just pour my batter in here. I have preheated my oven to 350. Okay. You see? And I'm going to put that in the oven. The recipe says for 45 minutes. And then when it's ready to come out, I'm going to tell you how I glaze it and show you that also. I'll be back. Okay, folks, I took the cake out of the oven after 45 minutes. And I let it cool a little bit in the pan and then put it on my cake stand. And the reason I did that, I didn't want it so hot when I put the glaze on it. It's warm, but it's not hot. And let me tell you what the glaze is. It's 1 cup of confectioner's sugar. That's the powdered sugar. And then you're just going to use lemon juice. And the recipe says just enough to make it a glaze consistency. So I can't remember how much that was, so I'm just going to I'm going to start with 3 tablespoons. This glaze is so good because it's sweet and tart. Uh-oh. Made a mess, didn't I? That's okay. That's what rags are for, dishcloths. All right, I think maybe 1 more tablespoon. I didn't quite fill it full, but almost. I'll show you what the consistency is like when and the warm cake will cause it to it's going to cause it to kind of soak in a little bit. But that's what it looks like. And I'm going to show you just what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go over it because it's going to soak in. It doesn't matter if it's pretty or not. You've got to let me know if you make this cake, if you like it or not. You could use baby food applesauce or, I wouldn't put bananas, but I use the prunes with apples, and I think that is going to be perfect. I really do. Now, this is still warm. I could cut a piece of it, but it may tear apart if I did. But I'll tell you what. Harold, would you get me a knife out of there? Okay. I think I will if you'll get me a saucer up there. I'm going to try it. I know better than to cut a hot piece. But I'm going to really see if I can get this without it tearing completely up. Because I know that that's what you like. Okay? Okay. It worked. Can you see? I'll taste it. You know, a warm cake's really good. Y'all, it's delicious. See how it sliced pretty good. But anyway, I'm going to tell you again, Happy New Year. I hope that you've had a good day so far. We have. I've been busy most of the day. But that's good. When you're busy, it'll keep you going, won't it? Okay, y'all, in this brand new year, I'm not going to change anything about telling you to be salt and light. You let others see Jesus in you where you go. I'll be back in a few days, and we'll have new recipes. Y'all, I haven't checked in the last hour, but I was so close to having 100,000 followers. It's unbelievable. So, if you wouldn't mind sharing this with someone that you think may not follow me, let's see if we can get 100,000 today. I thank you and I love you so much. Bye-bye.